Hi there, this is Kristen Hess. I'm the CEO and founder of HH Architecture in Raleigh, North Carolina. I'm glad to be with you today. I'm going to tell you about a really exciting project, the North Carolina Zoo Polar Bear Exhibit Expansion and Renovation. A little bit about HH Architecture. We are an architecture and interior design firm with one location in Raleigh, North Carolina, and we're about 50 people. And these are our core values: show up, be inclusive, listen with empathy and speak with honesty, be of the community, collaborate and inspire, and have fun. And this project embodies all of those core values. And you can see a couple of fun pictures off to the side of our team in crazy action. But now to the polar bear. So the North Carolina Zoo is the only zoo in North Carolina that is accredited. It is a humongous zoo. It's almost like a giant natural state park with animals in it. And the project was overseen by what's called the State Construction Office, which is one government office that makes sure that everybody follows the rules for how construction happens in North Carolina. Before you win the project, you, as an architect or a designer, you look for projects on the internet and you find an example project. It's called an RFP, a request for proposal, or sometimes it's called an RFQ, a request for qualifications. And basically what it is an owner, like the North Carolina Zoo, saying, hey, we need an architect. And so they put out a brochure or a letter saying, if you're interested in this project, submit your qualifications. So we did. And we submitted a big packet of information about our firm, about the consulting engineers on our firm that work under our firm. And then they review all the proposals that they get, and they decide who they want to bring in for an interview. So it's called a short list at that time. This was our team. The zoo is the client. HH Architecture, we're the architects and interior designers. Ursa International is actually a design firm that focuses on bear exhibits. Can you believe it? There's a specialty niche for bear zoo habitat design. Mesa, which was a landscape architect. Stanford White, a mechanical electrical plumbing engineer. Stroud Pence and Associates, now called Lynch Mikens, for structural engineering, and CLH Design for another landscape architect, and then TJP, they do water engineering, and I'm going to talk a little bit about that. All right, so first we had to do our research. We had to look at what would be included in a polar bear exhibit, and they already had a polar bear exhibit, so it wasn't just a brand new one, it was about expanding the one that they had. For the interview, because we wanted to throw the kitchen sink at it and we really wanted to win the job, we built a digital model of the whole site and expanded on what they had shown in their master plan and showed them some concept renderings of how it might look if we were selected as the preferred designer. We even did some sections. So if you think about slicing through the land and looking at it in section, the bear can be up high and have a vista, and can view over, this is a view over the moat. I'll show you that later in the presentation. So we got really excited and showed all the ideas that we could think of in the interview. So the way that we got the project was that we had the right team, we had listened carefully, and we had an innovative design, and that's how we won the project. The project itself takes a long time. So first you win it, then you do programming, which is all about what needs to be included. A new house for the bear, a new yard for the bear, a way to keep people safe, a place for the bear to hide, a place for the bear to swim, a place for the bear to play. Those are all the programmatic elements. Just like if you were designing your school, you need places for learning, you need places for eating, you need places for scientific experiments, you need places to play ball. Those are the programmatic elements. So for the bear, where does the bear eat? Where does the bear live, sleep, go to the bathroom, recreate, all those things. And then we had a concept design or schematic design, then design development, then construction documents, then bidding, negotiating the contract with the builder, and then actual construction. So we're involved all the way through all this stuff. So during the programming phase, like I said, you need to think about what are the improvements to the Bears facility. The old Bear facility was chopped up into 6 holding areas, and they were kind of small. And so we took out every other wall so that there were now just 3 enlarged suites, if you will. So the Bears had more room if they were in their holding cell. We also improved life support systems. If you think about it, and I had never thought about it before designing for a bear, bears go to the bathroom in the water that they also drink. And so the water has to be extremely purified. And so there's that life support engineer, TJP, that I showed you at the beginning. They actually engineer and design the water systems for animals so that they can drink the water and go to the bathroom in the water and never get sick. Pretty cool. We upgraded the existing pool and glass and the existing structures, and we also built 10,800 square feet of new buildings and a new exhibit for, an outdoor area for the bear with splash pool, caves, dig pits, and then a new plaza. So when you think about these design phases, schematic design, it's very conceptual. We don't have everything figured out. Design development, we've added all the design elements in. And then construction documents, we're actually drawing a set of instructions for how it should be built by the contractor. So during the schematic design and design development, we have like this really light touch site plan. And it kind of shows like, okay, here's the sidewalk in, and here's the viewing platform over the pool. You can see the bear swimming and the bear's existing habitat. And there's the old part in gray, and this is where we're going to expand and build a new building with a maternity den and another new building for viewing, and all this is new habitat. So there's the bear's old habitat. The new one is more than double. Keeping the old one, building one that's more than double for new, and then there's a way for them to transfer the bear from the old to the new. And then another place I'll show you for people here and here to watch the bear, and a viewing plaza with the moat that we talked about. And that's the shade structure up there. So then you have this whole process. It starts very sketchy, very ideating. I don't know if you use the word ideation, but it's where you're spitting out a lot of ideas. There's no bad ideas, there's no wrong ideas. It's just getting the ideas out. And then you begin to model some things and look at some existing conditions. And you start meeting with people and you show them these ideas, like see how this pavilion is more like stick-like the trees. This one's more orthogonal and regular. This one is a little more man-made looking, more geometric. And then this is 3 options for the covering the solar or shade structure over the existing patio. One's kind of asymmetrical, one's very geometric, but rectilinear. And then this one we affectionately called the duck foot, because it's kind of got this splayed out, and it's got you'll see it in a minute, it's got a vista. So there's the model. So it was really hot up here. It's kind of brutal to be in the sun in North Carolina, and we wanted to design a shade structure so it would be cool to look at the bear without, being blinded or being having heat stroke. This building is called the Interpretive Building. You walk past the moat, and this is a plaza. You walk past the moat where you're part of the same air as the bear. You feel like you're in the same space, but there's a deep pit between you and the bear, so the bear can't come out and eat you. And then you walk into this interpretive building, and there's lots of museum exhibits in there. This is the Ice Cave building. You walk in and it's very cold, and you begin to feel the frozen landscape that the bear lives in. So you can see as you come through the doors, you get an immediate sense of where the bear lives in its natural habitat. When you get into construction documents, like I said, it's making a set of instructions. It's incredibly technical, it's incredibly detailed, and this is a floor plan from a construction set that shows that set of doors that comes into the ice cave, and that's kind of the broken ice on the floor and coming through and going out. And the bear's cave is out here. And then This is a mechanical building, and then you walk over and you go into the other interpretive building. These are just really technical drawings that begin to show the structural engineering. See, these are bar joists, we call them, and those are like thick, deep beams, but they're not heavy because they've got open webs. So they use the triangulation of the steel to strengthen the beam and make it strong by using those members. I don't know if any of you have ever built little bridge models or anything like that, but that's the basic concept there, showing where the slope of the roof and the drainage of the water, where the walls are, where the foundations are. These are section cuts, where the skylights are, things like that. Very technical. And then you can see the detailing of the ice floor. So this is the concept for the ice floor, which is real live ice in the world. And unfortunately for polar bears, global warming is melting their ice. So that they have less, they use the ice to hunt. And so they need the ice to be able to float, and then they can get the seals that they want to eat, catch their food. So this is the broken ice floor. You can imagine kids have a lot of fun going there, jumping from this spot to this spot. And this is an ice crevasse, where the ice is melting and it's creating these open spaces, very sculptural. And then these are some technical drawings for the new holding building. So the place where the bear can go and hide, the bear can be examined medically, bear eats the food at night and can be weighed and measured and all those things. These are just some examples of what's important. Bears are deadly animals. They can kill us. And so we need to make sure that the bear can never get through the glass. So the detailing of 3 whole panes of glass that are 1/2 inch thick, and each one has a polycarbonate layer in between. It's pretty stout. So this is the interpretive viewing building that I talked about earlier, where you can walk around and see the bear in a different vista. This kind of shows it under construction, and this kind of shows you the detailing in the construction set. So kind of on the page and in real life right there. And there is the interpretive building in section and concept. There's a human, there's a bear, and you feel like, and the glass is tilted so that you have no glare and no reflection. You can really get a good view. The shade structure, like I told you earlier, the duck foot, now you see it actually built. Expectations on a job site. Safety is really important. There was a lot of mud on this job site. It took forever. There was a lot of rock. There was a lot of cage work that had to be built to make the cave for the bear. A lot of piping under slabs to figure out how to get the clean water and the dirty water separated. Lots of mud, lots of rock, lots of budget overruns. It's cut off, but it started out being a $4.5 million job, ended up being a $6 million job because of 1, market conditions, and 2, unexpected rock under the earth. And we spent months and months blasting. It also ate into the time and the schedule. So everybody expects everything to be smooth, but in reality, construction is messy business. Lastly, what I'll just say is that it's really important to think about everybody at the table together. You have the animals, the keepers, who want to make sure the animal's happy. The animal wants to hide, that's fine. If they never want to see a human, that's fine. But then you have the guest experience people that say, hey, if a guest comes to the zoo and never sees the animal, they're never coming back. The animal's got to work a little bit because we need the money from the guest to be able to further the research and conservation to protect the animal. And so what we did, and the zoo is a business. I mean, it's a nonprofit, but it has to, at the end of the day, be able to pay for itself. So we actually, as a part of the ice cave, we put some piping under the concrete to allow for the bear to find a place to hide, but also have a place that was comfortable. And so now what you end up having is a place where the bear wants to be, but where the people can also see the bear. So now what you've done is created a win for the guest experience and a win for the bear. So this is the bear coming into he's got a cave out there too, but he's got a cave here. This bear, it happens to be male. And there is a maternity den for future baby bears. I just want to say, I don't think I have pictures. But anyway, this is the cold slab in the And so you can get an up close view of that bear. Pretty cool. So it's my favorite project of all time. I love it dearly. I hope that you've learned a little something. It's messy business, but super rewarding. Save the polar bears. Thank you.